Hi there. You guys are a Taurus people, right? So guess what? Taurus Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're talking about the very cool month, the thank God things are moving forward month of February 2025. And you're going to have a momentum in your money. Okay. So we're going to have like a sudden forward thrust with money matters from career gains in specific. So matters to do with your career and financial stories are turning around, going forward at last. It's really good for financial abundance as well as some forward momentum in your life connected to things to do with third house matters. That could be your siblings, it could be your aunts, uncles, cousins, or travel plans or learning plans, also ready to move forward. So there's a lot of forward momentum in the month of February because we got planets that are going forward. That's Jupiter and Mars. And also we're going to break down the sky in a chronological order, talking about our new moons and our full moons as well. So in this up to 30 minutes long, sometimes 20 to 30-minute long time together today, Tauruses, we're going to get started. But if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian. I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac, the whole sign house system. And of course, if you're in my channel, you'll notice I do a lot of minor asteroids and fixed stars. They make me happy. I would suggest if you're going to listen today that you listen for your sun sign about career and purpose matters. Your moon can be about your home and your emotional nature of how you're feeling about what's going on. And the rising sign is accurate to everything about your life. It's kind of you at the steering wheel of the life that you chose, playing the character that you're here to play, right? So when you're playing a Taurus character, if it's your ascendant, you're stubborn, you're bullheaded, you're perseverant, you're loyal, and you're rooted in the earth. Okay. So the character of you is your rising sign. So we're going to start off by talking about the sky by showing you the sky. Before I do, if you want to know what I'm up to, like my Patreon community is down below, my Substack column is down below. You can sign up for free. Patreon, you have to pay $5, the lowest tier, but check it out. You would have had this video early access ad free, probably on January 20th, recording on the 19th, well ahead of the general public. And so that's something that's interesting to you. Go ahead and do it, especially no ads, right? No default ads. And I still have my 2025 individual videos and all signed bundle still for sale. Check it out below. The sale ends at the end of January, so you want to grab it while it's still there. It is 2 hours of content in a chronological order, helping you navigate 2025 for your sign. All right, so let's get talking about the sky for a Taurus person. So Taurians, here we have it. We've got a lot going on with the Lord of your sign, Venus, this month as well, as she ingresses into Aries. So we're covering her as well. Changing the format from my usual format, and we're actually going to cover everything chronologically. Rather than give you the overview of the planetary placements, we're just going to navigate the sky together in chronological order. So as we begin February, looks like I'm in January. Let's actually move us to the future. That would be a good idea. Let me just do that without you peeking at my back end. Okay, I think I'm sharing. Yep, alrighty, here we go. Double check that I'm sharing. I am sharing. Okay, guys, Venus is your Lord of your sign. Libra and you are the ones that get Venus as your number one planet, the guiding planet, if you like, the Lord of your sign. And Venus starts off strong in the month of February. Indeed, she will be on February 1st to about the 3rd, co-joining with Neptune. And this is why am I still in January 19th? You cannot make this up. I'm sorry, everybody. I had it all queued up and it somehow unqueued. All right, here we go. Here we go. Whew. Let's get this baby done. This is you. Your Taurus ascendant on the left. That's you. Okay. Let's talk about Venus. Venus-Neptune conjunction, February 1st, 2nd into the 3rd. Venus talking to Neptune in a conjunction with the North Node. This energy is indicating a very beautiful triad, a stellium indeed. And Venus has moved out of what I called her malefic enclosure as of February 2nd. And so what we end up having here is Venus freed from her bondage. You might want to check out my Venus course. It's called Liberate, because Venus will have to come out of a malefic enclosure 3 times between now and the end of April, and she'll be retrograde. And it's a magical 6-week course taking us through the retrograde and everything you need to know about what she's doing in your sky. So check out the description box below for my very affordable live 6-week class with me. And you get to keep all the content, and it's forever housed in my teaching platform for you. But Venus here is free. She's liberated from the constraints of the malefic enclosure on the 2nd, and she's busting out of something. And because she's a lord of your sign, it's busting out of something good in your career sky, career gains, career matters, career decisions, career accolades, a positive breakthrough with a friend that you were struggling with a friendship or a group of belonging, or difficulties with an elder sibling that were constraining you all the way back from January 20th. And then boom, I got out of this freaking straitjacket, says Venus on February 2nd. I feel so good. I feel so good. She feels good right now. And so you're going to kind of come into like the 1st, 2nd, especially 2nd, 3rd, with a sense of freedom, liberation, and excitement and positivity. Best way I can say it. You'll also notice that Jupiter is getting ready to go direct on the 4th. And when we move to the 4th, Jupiter, the god of bounty and opportunity and creativity, procreativity and generative creativity, is going to move into a place in the sky where he has the ability to bring from spring-loaded action. Why do I say spring-loaded action? Because Jupiter has been retrograding since October the 9th in your money and earnings house. Just to give you the big picture story that might be useful, that's the 4th there. Back in the 25th of May, 2024, he went into your earnings house and gave you luck with jobs, earnings, money, possessions, and maybe gave you a big appetite for eating a lot more food than you normally do. And then he ended up retrograding. And the retrograde on the 9th of October through to this February 4th was how he was deepening your bounty by kind of going back inward for true and good money. What money is good and true, what ways of making money for you are good and true. And now he's ready to spring load forward and give you the goodies that he's prepared for you. And so starting on February 4th through to June the 9th, it's a great time to apply for a new job, to ask for a raise, to set up a new business, to create new, more bounteous ways of being prosperous in your life, to be protected is what he does here. He protects you financially, but he's flowing to planets in your 10th house, which indicate career abundance through job, work, career opportunities. And if you're retired, I'm not sure what to say. Abundance increases in your finances through your reputation or in some fundamental way. When we move into February 6th through to about February 8th, from the 6th to the 8th of February, Venus is sextiling Pluto. That's called a wealth, kind of a wealth yoga. It's better if they're conjunct, but it brings prosperity usually, power of love, love of power, depth of intimacy. Those are the themes that can happen here. Romantic love, friendship love as well. Venus is in this part of your sky. It's a bed pleasures. That's where you have bed pleasures, guys. So that could be some profoundly deep and intensely connected romance. However, Pluto has been decimating your career and reputation up there since, oh my goodness gracious, November the 19th. And now what Pluto's doing with Venus is they're working together in a harmonious way for some restitution around any damage you felt. Because in the solace and solitude, you can restore your own confidence, perhaps. Pluto up here can also be very transformative for backroom deals and negotiations that shore up your reputation and career in a positive way, or for romantic love with somebody in a distant, far-off land that you may encounter through your career and reputation matters that you're pursuing in life. But it's a sweet touch. And if you make money from digital foreign land, borderless income and revenue, if you're an online type person, this is also going to increase your financial wellness in that window of time. So February 6th to the 8th looks really exciting. And we'll notice that Mars will trine Saturn from February 6th all the way to February 12th, which is an extraordinarily long time because he's retrograde and moving at a snail's pace as he gets ready to station direct. So on the 23rd. So February 6th to the 13th, you'll notice that Mars down here is in a constructive, long, enduring connection to Saturn. Active forbearance, endurance, actions that take time and are worth it. structure and form and discipline in actions that you're taking. It's really good for hard work. It's really good for disciplined action. Now, Mars is in the third house, and that's the funny thing. That's the local neighborhood. Like, it could be your gym, your restaurant, your racetrack, but it could be as simple as you're really dedicated to some kind of endurance when it comes to exercise in the local neighborhood, connected to friends and allies and benefactors. My Taurus daughter is training for a marathon with her girlfriend. That's exactly what that sky tells me she's doing. And she's got this structure and the can-do vibe to push through and do it February 6th to the 13th. Because you have Saturn in the house of work and career gains as well, there could be some structure and more discipline in your work environment that brings you greater satisfaction. Because if Mars is in your third house and your job requires you to write, communicate, do anything online, or to teach, teach somebody something, or you may be taking a professional education. So enduring and endurance through professional education, hard work with your job, if it requires you to be online, to write, communicate, to market, or to sell, then all of a sudden your energy is extremely good at getting it done and being successful. Mars is traveling over ground where he was mostly in October. I said, in fact, he's going to station to turn around later in February, where he was early October, like October 9th. So at this point in the sky, he's closer to the part of the sky he traveled in the last couple of weeks of October. And therefore, you might be reminiscing over things you are doing, travel plans as the third house, projects, communicating, writing, events in your local neighborhood. Mars can often be the guy at the gym, or whatever, the person at the gym when he's in this position, so going to the gym. So whatever he's doing here, it's really supporting you in both your long-term goals and dreams, but also in your friendships and also in your career gains. And you have stamina to get things done, and you work hard and you don't burn out. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is that when the Sun and Mercury co-join, it's a really beautiful reset button in the sky, and they're going to come into that conjunction in the sky, and they're going to reset a button in your career. And this kind of Mars conjunction up here isn't that common. Like 6 times a year, he'll co-join the Sun, but not that commonly in this part of your sky in Aquarius. And therefore, what is it that you're going to start anew, a fresh beginning, a new start in the career zone? And honestly, it could be a new job. You'll notice that, or a new position within your company. You'll notice that on February the 9th, it's exact. You start to feel it building on the 8th, 9th, and 10th, and it can last for about 6 weeks in which the changes begin to unfold. If you're looking for a new job, Jupiter is direct, or first job or any job, Jupiter is direct, and the conjunction, because this energy in your 10th house reset button is auspicious. It's very useful to look for phone calls, text messages, emails, a correspondence in the work environment coming through close to the 9th that is confirming what I say to be true. Father figures belong to the 10th house. The Sun is a father figure. Communications with bosses, authority figures, father figures that are good for your bounty and your prosperity, including emails, phone calls, and any kind of messages going on here. Technically, Jupiter gets you bounty any way he can, but he does rule the house of inheritance. So great Uncle Joe or great Grandpa, Richard or something, possibly sending you a note through their barrister that you're on the inheritance list. I mean, it could be something like that for just some of you. You could also find that because, mortgages and property and escrow and banking are of the 8th house, there could be some positive developments regarding land, property, and real estate, and banking and mortgages and loans. And that's only because the Sun is a ruler of the 4th, and of course, Jupiter rules the 8th. So if there's anything like that has been a challenge, like you finally get a property sold, right? You got the perfect offer, you're going to sell it, that kind of thing. And you're ready to jump on it because it feels right and good and bounteous and true. That's Jupiter direct. Now, you'll notice that the Sun will square Uranus between February 11th and the 13th. Now, the Sun is all about that career space for you. And Uranus is in the house of your identity, and indicating that you are basically somewhat having a jolt to your identity or a freedom of identity. One thing I say about Uranus, you may as well just say free to be me any old time. It's like freedom, release, rebellion, liberation, breakthrough in your identity vis-a-vis your reputation and career. If anything, I think it's positive, but because it's a square, it may require you to be ready to act on whatever this breakthrough is. So a breakthrough regarding your identity and a career and reputation matter looks like it's emerging, but it looks like it's also somewhat prosperous or good for your long-range finances. On the 24th, no, on the 12th of the month, we have a full moon in the sign of Leo. And that's an important turning point for you. And it's at 24 degrees of Leo, if I remember correctly. Now, this is your fourth house, and it's completion. Some of you, I think, could sell a property, as I mentioned. So completing a sale, completion of that home, completion of that property. So fullness, fulfillment, endings, and completion regarding home, property, and real estate. Not everybody will sell a home, of course, who's a Taurus. So this could be many other things. You might want to fulfill something in and from your home, a promise of what you wish to get accomplished. And because this is a full moon, right, it's taking cue from 6 months earlier when there was a new moon here and you planted new seeds in the fourth house. And now you're fulfilling that. Fourth house stuff can also be about your family of origin, your relationship to your childhood, your mother, and a big flashlight is down there, and you might be reassessing under the full moon light your childhood, the way you operated in your childhood. Let's put that moon in there. Let's take a look at her, because I believe she's in a flow to Uranus as well. All right. Yes, of course she is, because yes, I think she is. No, let's take a look at it. There we go. Full moon around 24 degrees. Yes. Well, just trust me. She's at 24 degrees here. 24 degrees of the sign on the 12th of Leo. And yes, she is connected to Uranus. She's past the perfection, but she's there. What this could say is that the square to Uranus, this T square that's forming, there's a kind of like big energy going on, fullness, fulfillment, completion, home, reputation, career, and identity, flash pointing, requiring decisions, actions, and change, but maybe feeling like breakthrough and liberation. And that will be a big story for you around February 12th, and the full moon can unfold over the course of up to a month afterwards, where you see the rollout of the promise. You see it kind of moving forward, and you can make more sense of it. It looks like I have that Hathor crown on my head up here, like the half moon. I look very Hathor today. Moving forward, we're now going to talk about Mercury. On Valentine's Day, because you'll notice that Mercury has been moving through Aquarius as this month began. In fact, he was in Aquarius back on January 28th, and he leaves on Valentine's Day. Take a look at Valentine's Day, folks. Mercury moves on the 14th into your 11th house of friends, groups of belonging, social activities, and social sphere. And Valentine's Day, even though we normally spend it alone with someone, if we have someone, just could indicate a very sociable Valentine's Day, very fun and sociable activity being pursued by you. Mercury will be in the 11th house of good spirit. It's also colleagues, co-workers, career gains, dreams, hopes, and wishes, friends, and socializing with groups of friends. Mercury will be up here until March the 3rd. Just keep that in mind. And he's getting in a pile up. So we'll talk about the pile up in a minute. But it looks to me like with Mercury up here, and you're talking about it being Valentine's Day, it might be a good time for you to plan a social and fun event with your significant other, if you have a significant other. And in general, as Mercury moves to your 11th house, it's not a bad time for negotiating regarding career matters, salary, benefits, your status in the company, and using that as a negotiating Mercury, because, well, he's in detriment here. He certainly can be inspiring. He can tell some really tall tales, so negotiating for new career gains or better career gains. All right, moving into the future. We get to this really dead spot. You know how you get a cell tower dead spot and you get no signal? You're coming into the signal free zone. And that really begins to pick up on February 13th, just before Mercury moves into your 11th house, and does not come to a signal free zone until about the 19th. So from the 13th to the 19th, those 6 days, we're in kind of dead waters. And there's no real major aspects taking place. And we don't really count the moon. I don't really count the moon. And so what you need to know about this is that you're free of the grabbers. The planets cannot move you around on the celestial game board. The Mountain Olympian gods cannot screw with your life. You are in charge of you. You're in open waters. Set your sail, find the wind, and go. Because whatever this is for, Taurus, it's not that common. We have such a long dead space in the sky. So using this sky for you as somebody who's Venus ruled is going into solitude, going into contemplation, spending time alone, asking yourself what you really want and what you really need. You may indeed engage in solitary pleasures of all kinds, but also just aloneness becomes healing. Chiron, Venus, the solace and solitude and introspection and downtime. Take the downtime being offered here, February 13th to the 19th. And maybe if you're in a long distance love affair with someone from a distant shore, you might be engaging in that through travel and getting off to see them, visit them, or they're visiting you. Maybe you will go off to a foreign land or shore for a little vacay time here, 13th to the 19th, but use it as a kind of introspective solitude about your true power of love and love of power when it comes to career, because that's going to be a big, and reputation, a big theme for you to introspect over during that time. On the future storyline, I don't want to miss anybody. On the 20th or so, Mercury will square Jupiter. Mercury is information and news, and usually comes through emails, phone calls, or texts, and that kind of stuff. And this is Mercury in the house of friends, allies, benefactors, and a sibling one older. And this is, and colleagues sometimes, people who want to help you as well, be of assistance. And he's going to square Jupiter in your second house of money. Now, that could look like a positive money, a conversation, email, text, or phone call around the 20th of February. And it could look like, oops, yeah, that's what happens when I can't pin the sign. It may look like you have an opportunity here to take a phone call, take a meeting, check out that email. It's important. It's positive. February 20th. It brings opportunity. It brings opportunity from a direct motion Jupiter. He's like, all systems go. Let's get this show on the road. Let's make some money. So it's a financially positive opportunity. I got the job. Yay. They offer me more money than I asked for. Yay. I've successfully got promoted 2 levels up. Yay me. That's what I'm looking at for you guys. Positive. It's financially positive. And it's a bit of a windfall sometimes because Mercury's in the house of pennies from heaven. Windfalls can happen here. Karmic and cosmic rewards. It's a little bit of a bright spot. If some of you did sell a house, you probably just fully closed and got your money in the bank and are really well pleased, that kind of thing. Or the job opportunity, that kind of stuff. Good news from a sibling, one older than you, good news from a friend, but it helps you prosper financially. Now, on February 23rd, 2 things happen. Mars goes direct. Mars goes direct. Well, also, you're going to see there's a flow to Mercury. This is a very positive sign for Mars turning around in a sign of his detriment to get this mercurial upgrade going on. Now, they're both in water. Oops. They're both in water. So it's Mercury and water can be what we call mute, like not talking. And so it can be very interior or very subtle, but there we have 17 degrees on the 23rd, 24th. Mars is turned around. At the very same time, there is this beautiful flow to Mercury, which, considering the fact that they're both in debility, isn't too shabby because at least they're working together. It could look like some kind of communication regarding travel and travel plans. It could look like some kind of social gathering involving learning or teaching or traveling. It could look like a neighborhood block party and you're having a blast and it's no big deal. And yet it also is Mars back in territory that goes back to around the first week of October. Like I'd say, October the 5th to the 13th or so. And so there may be a return regarding neighbors, neighborhood matters, travel, commercial brick and mortar businesses, online businesses, and online business plans and actions and decisions that take you back to some things in early October that are now coming to fruition through contracts, negotiations, and agreements. Now, just be careful, get a real lawyer in there. Mercury might be a friend or ally or benefactor trying to help you on a matter, but Mercury is not a detailed guy in Pisces. He's looking at the big picture dreamily, but a solar figure may assist you in some matter of travail that you're going to finally push through on the website, on the teaching platform, on the travel plans, on the brick and mortar business, etc., and your online business as well. And then we move into, and don't forget, like Mars has been down there retrograding, right? Mars is retrograding in your 3rd house now since December, retrograding from Leo, your 4th house of property, land, and real estate, starting in December 6th, and then moving January 6th into the third house. So there's something about you keep going back into that homeland, property, real estate, or childhood matters of siblings, things like that keep getting back in your face. You're looking at that again and again for some reason. Not sure why. I'm not sure why. Or home-based matters and connections to neighborhoods. And Mars going direct here, September 4th to November 4th, some of you moved your home, changed your home, renovated your home, and now you're going, or, sold a home or something, but there's stuff going on here. This keeps going back to the past. Mercury will trine Mars on February 20. Oh, I just did that. Mercury will conjunct Saturn on February 25th. So after having a flowing dialogue with Mars, Mercury bumps into Saturn in your 11th house of good spirit. What do you need to make into concrete, tangible form through negotiation, communication, speech, emails, phone calls that has a lasting, enduring value? And the value is in your career gains, in your social media stuff, in your travel, in your local neighborhood environment. It may involve a sibling, one younger and one older than you as well. On February 27th, Mercury sextiles Uranus. Well, as he does this, he's still pretty well kissing Saturn. So the two of them are holding hands. And by the time we get to February 27th, Mercury is in a really algol star Uranus surprise conversation here. This could be you. You are erupting, breaking free, taking some shackles off, going outside the lines of who you want to be and who you think you are. And Mercury is supporting you to do that through the communications or information you get from the third house. And again, an 11th house, it can be like, look at me, I just got this great new solid financial expansion in my career. It's my dream expansion. Look at that stellium in the 11th house. I'm the boss of me. Or your sibling is super helping you with matters that help you break free of your structures that hold you back. Your sibling, one older in particular, or you're having some challenges or breakthroughs, I should say, regarding your dreams, goals, and wishes for your life. And you're having eurekas and you understand what solid new directions you wish to plan for in a breakthrough moment about what the rest of your life should look like. It's sad and tense up here. The new moon is on the 9th degree of Pisces on the 27th of February. So the moon is going to join in here. It's going to be a party. And this new moon will be around 9 degrees. And everybody's having a party in your 11th house in the last 3 days of February. So again, it is the gains of your career and it's busy as all hell, but the North Node says expanding. Saturn says enduring, new beginnings, and visions and dreams and goals are coming true. Okay, so there's freedom here. Now, you may have friendship circles just light up, at the last part of the month. New moons are new beginnings, though. So a new beginning in your career gains, a fresh start in how you make money, new beginnings in your social groups and friendship circles. It's quite lively up here. It's exciting. And you're like, I think you're enjoying it. I mean, it's the house of good spirit and there's a party and you're having a party with it all. And Venus, she's not participating. She'll come back there later. We'll be doing that in the Venus retrograde class, but she is in the deep introspection of what brings you true, authentic enjoyment and pleasure from a place of what I value deeply within my soul, the moksha liberation house of the 12th house. By the way, anything you do that you shouldn't be doing, Chiron, healing, Venus, addictions, you're really good at healing those addictions now as well. But a new moon, new beginning, probably a new job, new career path, new friendship circles, new goals and dreams for your life. And that's setting you up on February 27th, add up to a month later for that to unfold through your sky. I don't think I forgot anything. I hope that's useful to you as a Taurus sun, moon, and rising. I got to go turn my heat on. It's getting cold here in Vancouver, Canada. And I'm recording this on Sunday, January 19th. You guys get it on YouTube land a week later. But if you're in my Patreon community, you'd have it pretty well, like probably tomorrow, but maybe now, maybe today, you'd have it already and you'd be able to watch it without any ads and make comments about it in the Patreon community that I can respond to, and you get the gist. Okay, thanks guys. Don't forget, everything about me is in the description box. Woo.